Hello everyone, today I'll show you an amazing new feature for Nvidia GPUs called DLDSR. It uses AI to give you a much better picture quality, similar to that of a 4K DSR on a 1080p display without costing you a ton of frames. In simple terms, it could be very useful in 3 different scenarios. Let's take the first one here with Forza Horizon 5. This game has so bad anti-aliasing that you can see the jagged edges even at 8x MSAA. As you can see it here when it is running at 1080p, high settings. You can solve this by playing it at 4K, but that will cost you a lot of frames. So we'll use DLDSR to get a similar picture quality to that of 4K but with higher FPS. First, let's see how to enable it. Open Nvidia control panel, then click on Manage 3D settings and check these 2 boxes. I am also checking this last box to compare its performance with 4K DSR, but it's not necessary to use DLDSR. Now, set smoothness anywhere between 5 to 25 depending on the game. Lower values will lead to a more sharpened image. Now click apply and you're done here. Further steps are needed to be done inside the game's settings. So, we're back inside FH5. Now go to settings and change the resolution to 1620p. The 1620p you see here is actually 4K render, which is scaled down by AI to 1620p and then displayed on your 1080p monitor. Please note that with a 1080p monitor, DLDSR will work with either of 1620p or 1440p. If you want more FPS with slight compromise in quality, you can also use 1440p. As you can see that the FPS has reduced by 20, but everything looks so much cleaner now, from textures, reflections, draw distance to aliasing. And it looks even better in person. It looks very close to 4K DSR, which takes a huge toll on performance. Here's some 4K DSR gameplay for comparison. Consider it like a fake DLSS but for games which don't have DLSS. Now we have Guardians of Galaxy. It's an example of a CPU limited game. At 1080p high settings, I still have some GPU power to spare.
Might want to check on that, Peter! What's next, Peter?
So, let's just change the resolution to 1620p to activate DLDSR. Even when coupled with DLSS quality, it looks much better than native 1080p. After activating DLDSR, we are still getting FPS in 70s and the GPU is also being maxed out. So, for only 10 FPS less, the visual improvement is huge.
Hold on, Nicky! We're coming! Oh, crap! Now it's Nova! They're not Nova anymore, Peter!
You are wrong on both counts!
He means we can't stay here!
On this we are agreed!
Look! Golden Boy and Uniflarker are still at it!
Of all the gods, stop looking to talk!
I ain't saying I want him to lose, but I wouldn't mind if Ranger socked him one.
Laura! The billboard!
Good call!
You find more snipers over there, you save me one!
No promises!
Well, I guess Goldie survived that jump! The Warlock is more valued than I believed! We approach the dog's tower! Hold on, Nicky! We're coming!
So many lousy angles!
Here's The Witcher 3, which is a comparatively old game. Even at 1080p max settings with lighting and texture mods, I'm getting over 100 FPS in Novigrad.
Fiends take you.
Oh!
By switching to 4K, FPS drops into 40s, which isn't worth it. Here, DLDSR will come to the rescue and will allow us to play it at 60 FPS with visual quality similar to 4K DSR. If 60 FPS is not enough, you can drop down a couple of settings to high and use 1440p DLDSR and it would still look much better than native 1080p.
Hey, Whitey. Why'd your hair go white? Come on, Roach. Hey, Whitey. Why'd your hair go white? Oh, you make a fine sight. Oh! Fuck! Blasphemous coders. Slower. Hey,